Hello, all of you. Here we begin with the second class for appeals and revisions. And I want to ask you at the beginning, how is the Josh? How are you preparing for the exam? With our classes, are you revising the questions which are given at the back of your study material, the MCQs and other topics? Cover it up. If you have any doubt, ask me. One experience I want to share, the interclasses, the direct taxation interclasses are like face to face. So every day one of the student has to come and revise the topic what we cover up yesterday. Like salary is going on over there right now. And some of the students, when I say no, we are, I know, I tell them, don't say no, don't say that you all are not going to become teacher like Dipti ma'am, but you need communication skills to communicate with your colleagues in your office or in your practice on your job. Yes or no? So for that sake, just come here and give the presentation. You hold the notes, whatever you want to do. So salary chapter was going on since 3-4 days, and every time someone would come and 5-7 minutes they would give the presentation among all these 80 students. Now, what is happening? One of the student, he said, I'm very shy, ma'am, I will not give. I said, then tomorrow you are only giving the presentation. See what is the self-talk you are doing, dear students. Very important in this time when you are preparing for your exam. 2 minutes and then directly we are going to the appeals. Very important, dear students, if you agree with me, most important is what is the self-talk, what is going inside you. You all are already putting hard efforts for days and for hours and all. Then say, I am learning, I am learning, I am learning. And the student's name is Karthik, and he gave the presentation. Can you people believe? He said, no, I'm not giving the presentation. And next day, I and the whole class, we were surprised. He was supposed to give the presentation on the topic provident fund. 4 types of provident fund are there, no, in salary chapter. And he prepared PPT, and he gave so many extra inputs. Sometimes we teach extra, we tell you the practical thing, but we don't dive so much into practical side so that you miss out exam side. But it was really interesting. He explained how more than 5 years, if you're there in the PF, that will continue. And all the 4 types of PF, he explained with a PPT and a super duper performance. After the class, he said, I didn't realize that I could do this. That's why dare and do it. I'm missing with you all final students because we are taking the classes online. But whenever you feel like, no, ma'am, I followed this topic and I want to give the presentation, it could be a voice note in our WhatsApp group. Okay, 263 versus 264. Today's concept, just partial merger and total merger. Okay, comparison between the CIT. I'm just picking up topics from today, but anything. Ma'am, I know the format of charitable trust like gross minus income, a 15% set aside, 85%. If you can say and record in your own voice and listen to it while you're traveling or somewhere where you don't have access to laptops and all, then in that case, it's a superb way of learning. Scientifically proved. This is not my technique. My teachers have told me, I told to students, students gave the feedback. Ma'am, when we are recording in our own voice, it is not going to take extra time. Anyhow, you are reading and preparing. And listening to that no is just awesome. So try out this technique. And I'll tell you one secret. As I take classes with you all know, I also attend my trainings. So even I gave a presentation of 30 seconds related to something I had to give. And I got a lot of compliments for, you know what? They said the tone, the way you say the words with weightage. Now, don't say I'm teaching you anything extra, dear students. When you go in the outside world, first well-wishers are your parents, second well-wishers are your teachers. After that, everyone is deciding. Oh, Devi, she knows very well, no? Give her the work. Oh, Usha, she knows superb. Give her the work. No one is going to teach you. Okay, if you don't know, I will teach you and then I will give you the work. Whoever is smarter will go ahead. So decide and make a list of what all skills you need to work after your exam. Okay, chalo. Now here we are with appeals and revisions second class. First class was the procedural part. We are completing the second part now. And the best way to understand this topic is more and more question answers based on the case laws. Based on case laws, at least 5 plus 5 marks question answers what they are going to ask you in exam, and some small hand-picked MCQs also is the coverage of this topic. This topic lined up with your assessment procedure. First is return of income, what SSC does, then what department does, 143, 144, 147, 154, 156. You remember or not? Till then we have done. Then we start with appeals. So the first appeals, if AO order is not proper, you can go to CIT appeals. There, within 30 days, you have to file the appeal in CIT appeals. There you are not satisfied, go to ITET. 60 days. There you are not satisfied, then go to High Court. 120 days. There you are not satisfied, go to Supreme Court. Again 90 days. So this is a hierarchy. But there is a different hierarchy also. That's what I'm teaching. This is yesterday's class. Everything is covered up. If you have a doubt in yesterday's class, ask me now. Put it in the chat box. The chat box is on. 1 second. Abhi on kar dete hain. Yeah, it's on now. And in our group also, those who have joined the coaching live, you all are there in the WhatsApp group. So there also you can ask. Directly, I want to start with 2 revision orders, 263 versus 264. But to understand these revision orders, we need to understand a law term. So I'm an income tax teacher, trying my best to teach you the law term with an example. So open your booster notebooks, and here we are writing something, and then we will start with. Okay? Yeah. Is the speed of the class, volume, everything clear? If you can share me. Yeah. Look at the screen. Are you able to see the notebook? Yes? Right. I am explaining you the doctrine of merger. This is a concept taught actually in law. Anyone in the class has idea about doctrine of merger? When do we apply partial merger and when do we apply complete merger? If we know the concept, and then if I explain you 263 and 264, you will understand in 10 minutes. It's that easy. Yeah. You can unmute and say. Doctrine of merger, write down partial merger and total merger. Partial merger and total merger. Now, what is partial merger? Finish writing this much with me in your booster notebook. Booster notebook is where chapter wise, but in one book only we are writing all flowcharts. Before this, like we have written all the add and less concept and this one for the mat and all that. So like this in one notebook only, if you maintain, one day before exam, what you need to revise should be clear to you. Yes. Are you all able to write with me? Doctrine of merger, partial merger and total merger. Now, what do you mean? This is a part of the law. Partial merger says, okay, this will be helpful for 263, 264 repetitive appeals and all that also. Okay. Suppose if there is an order of AO, assessing officer, JCDC, ITO and all, joint commissioner, deputy commissioner, additional commissioner, ITOs, these are all AOs. So there is an order of the AO in that case A, case B. We have questions related to this also in our question answer book behind this chapter, that also I'll discuss. So there's a case A and case B. Okay. Now, doctrine of partial merger says if you are not liking the order of the case A, okay, case A is AO has passed the order and you feel it is not correct. If you want to go, you can go to CIT appeals. But for case B is another query in that. Okay, like one is TDS related to query, one is related to 43B business head expense allowed. So like that, you know, cases are different issues. You can say issue also. This is an issue A for which you don't like AO's order, and within 30 days, you are ready to go to the Commissioner Appeals. Okay. And for case B, for the other issue in the same order, for case B, you don't want to go to the CIT appeals. You directly want to file, revise the order under section 263. You can revise the order under section 263. The AO can do that. Okay. So you can say to AO, oh this case is pending already with the CIT appeals. AO will say, okay, this issue is pending with the CIT appeals. No, for the second issue, we will revise the order. Who will revise the order under 263? AO. For that, I'll give you separate flowchart. Don't worry. So part can go here, part can go. This is called as doctrine of partial merger. In one order, you can break up the order, and part of the issue you can go to CIT appeals. The other part, you said, no, this is okay. But department is saying, what okay? This order is wrong. We feel this order is wrong for the department side, and AO wants to go for revision. Can you say, no, my case is pending with the CIT appeals? Answer is no. If case are different in the same order, part can go here, part can go there. Clear? So this is how doctrine of partial merger works. If you are able to write down, doctrine of partial merger is applicable to. Doctrine of partial merger is applicable to rectification of order, what we study under section 154, and revision of order under section 263, which we are starting in another 5 minutes. All this language example is given in the material also, but to fit in mind, you need to write. If you can comment in the chat box, if you're using the laptop and comfortable, let me know if my writing is clear, speed is fine, you are able to write it or not. Are you getting? AO wants to say, oh, by mistake, there is a mistake apparent on the record and I want to rectify. Can you say, no, my order is pending with CIT appeal? You keep quiet. No. CIT appeal is what is pending? One part of the issue. For the remaining part, order can be revised. Is this all clear to all of you? Right. Chalo. Now, let us see what is the total merger. Issue or case, or some of them, yeah, some students are saying matter. Matter bhi hai, say it. You can say it as a different matter also. Total merger. Here also, suppose order of AO is passed, same story, and matter pending with CIT appeals. Matter is pending with the CIT appeals. Maybe A matter. Matter A. Okay. Now, matter B in same order. Matter B in same order cannot be revised. Matter B in the same order cannot be revised because what's the name of this doctrine? Doctrine of total merger. Oh, against one order is the case pending with the CIT appeals. Maybe in that order matter A, but for matter B, you cannot go. Chalo, matter A na, I will go to CIT appeals. Matter B no, directly SSC can go for 264 revision of order to the higher authorities. So can they say, two matters are there in my AO's order. I'm not satisfied with both. So one order, I'll go to the CIT appeals. And for another matter, I'll go to 264, not allowed, because 264 says doctrine of complete merger. 264, when you are going to apply for an order to be passed under 264, the higher authorities will say, if this matter is pending with the Commissioner Appeals, wait, you cannot come to us. Clear or not? So this is what is, this is just a concept. When I apply it in teach you these 263, 264, it will be clear. Matter A, matter B in the same order. Matter A is pending here with the CIT appeals. Matter B in same order cannot be revised under 264. So this doctrine of complete merger, complete total merger, write down please all of you, applicable to revision order under section 264. Applicable to revision order under section 264. If your appeal is pending with the CIT appeals and ITET and all, you cannot go for 264. Clear to all of you? Shall I close this and now shall we move ahead with what we are going to do now? Nothing to write, already distinguished and everything is given to you. Now we are starting with revision of order under section 263. Revision of order under section 263. You know, when you're this, I will explain orally and then we will read out. Okay, listen. When AO is passing the order and you're not satisfied, okay, then as an SSC, you have two options. Go to the CIT appeals, then ITET High Court or 264. But if you go to 264, it's like a closed line. Again, you cannot take a U-turn and go to ITET High Court, Supreme Court. That's why people don't prefer 264 at the first step. They will go to CIT appeals. If CIT appeals, the time limit and all is over, then only they'll go to 264. Now, what is 263? 263 is nothing to do with the SSE. It has to do with the department. AO has passed the order. Higher authorities, okay, PCCIT, CIT, and all those commissioners, when they are checking the order passed by AO, they feel that this order is erroneous. There's a mistake in the order. They can ask the AO to rectify the mistake and pass another order. In that, of course, the AO should give opportunity of being heard to the SSE. They can take some additional evidence also, which was not available earlier, and now they want to give and all that. Considering all that, the 263 revision order will be passed. Who will initiate 263? Department. It is in whose favor? Department. When department feels that the lower authority have, what are the reasons why AO's order is again asked to be revised under section 263 by higher authorities? They feel AO gave the relief PPF deductions without checking. AO didn't check the things properly. He didn't ask for the proof. Without diving into the details, he has, or asking for the proofs and doing all the calculation, he has passed the order. So when there is any erroneous order, the revision of order can be done. Of course, rectification is also there, 154 rectification, but that rectification is mistake which is apparent on the record, and these are erroneous orders. So this is a very simple concept, and comparative of 263 and 264 is also asked in exam. I want to skip all this part, dear students. We have done all this yesterday, and I have highlighted the important theory questions also, what they are asking, like this one. When ITET will allow additional evidence? The 4 reasons. Kal ka hai ye class, and yesterday I made you write the theory questions also. Fees and all you need not remember. They are not going to be asking you the buttified question. Chalo. Repetitive appeals will do. Directly all of you come to page number 9 of this chapter, and here I am. The procedure is very simple. They're not going to ask you explain the procedure of revision of order prejudicial to the revenue. I want all of you to write here, initiated by the department, higher authorities. Higher authorities. You know what are higher authorities? कल आपको बताया था ना? PCC, Principal Commissioner, Commissioner, and Principal Chief Commissioner, and all those. So this is, if any order is prejudicial to revenue, order which may be revised under 263, an order which is passed by AO. Who is AO? JC, DC, AC, and ITO, which is erroneous or which is prejudicial to the interest of revenue and passed by authority subordinate to these people are called as higher authorities. I always say, dear students, my book, my makeup. So if you want to do 3D, 5D makeup, kar lo. Few things as a teacher, I don't write it. I want you all to write so that you understand. So who will initiate this revision order? These higher authorities: Principal Commissioner of Income Tax, Commissioner, Chief Commissioner, and Principal Chief Commissioner. Order passed by AO includes an order of assessment made by Assistant Commissioner on the basis of directions issued by JC. Joint Commissioner, he gives some directions. According to that, the AO will pass the order. Or an order made by JC, Joint Commissioner, as an AO. That order is also included for the 263. This is extra information. Okay. Now, order made by AO after making proper inquiries and considering relevant details and decisions of Supreme Court cannot be said to be erroneous and prejudicial to interest of revenue, and such order cannot be revised. If already after AO giving the order, the things have gone to Commissioner Appeals, ITET and High Court and Supreme Court, those orders are not going to be revised. Now from beginning, I'm saying this is all for reading. I'm always saying, because this chapter is procedural part, few things we are giving you for reading, market are for reading, few things should be there in your mind. So I'm concentrating on the word. 263 is initiated by the department when they feel an order is erroneously passed by the AO and it is prejudicial to interest of the revenue. Government ka loss ho raha hai. So what are the cases? An order passed by AO shall be deemed to be erroneous in so far as it is prejudicial to interest of revenue if, in the opinion of the commissioner, order is passed without making any inquiry or verification. You did not do any inquiry or verification, or order is passed allowing any relief without inquiry. Any relief. We give relief for the taxes you have paid outside India. We give relief for salary. We give other reliefs, deductions. So without making any inquiry, you have given the relief without inquiring, or order has been made in accordance with order. Directions or order has not been made in accordance with the order directions issued by a board. So you didn't follow the CBDT directions while making the order, or order has not been passed in accordance with any decision which is prejudicial to the SSE rendered by the jurisdictional High Court, Supreme Court in the case of SSE or any other person. So what is the jurisdictional High Court? State-wise, we have where is the jurisdiction for us in Telangana, like that. So the order is not passed in accordance with the decision. When related to this issue, the Supreme Court has given the decision and that has become the answer for the question of law. Without following that, you have made this judgment. Right. So what is erroneous order under which 263 they'll go? Order is passed without making inquiries or verification. Reliefs are given without asking for any proof. The instructions of CBDT are not followed, and order is not passed in accordance with the decisions, okay, which are given by High Court and Supreme Court in our jurisdiction. So we should follow that and then give. So in all these cases, order is erroneous and it needs to be revised. Treatment of order which is subject matter of appeal. Under 263 of an order, which is subject matter of the appeal, cannot be made. See, revision under 263 of an order, which is subject matter of appeal, CIT appeals, cannot be made. So I want all of you to write here, either CIT appeals or revision under section 263. Decide कर लो क्या करना है. Either CIT appeals, या तो अपील में चले जाओ, और appeal में who will go, who will go for appeal? The SSE. I hope you all remember yesterday, CIT appeals, SSE. Then for the same case, revision order, not possible by the higher authorities. Are you all getting or not? You cannot go for revision under 263. Department cannot go. Even 264 SSE cannot go if you have filed the same for appeals. If it has already gone for appeals, keep it pending over there. Next, any doubt here? Revision 263 of order, which is subject matter of appeal, cannot be made. Even the higher authorities want to instruct to AO, no, this order is wrong, revise. But sir, this order is already pending with the CIT appeals. Wait, then you cannot do that. You can't open up 263 for orders which are pending with CIT appeals. Chalo. The PCCIT can revise such orders which has been subject matter of appeal, which had not been considered and decided in such appeal. Doctrine of partial merger, yahan se language shuru ho gaya. I want all of you to write here, and the diagram is there in your notebook. Doctrine of partial merger. Now see what they are saying. The higher authorities. Can I call this as higher authorities? Highways, I call them highways. Higher authorities can revise such order which has been subject matter of appeal, which has not been considered and decided in the appeal. For example, one order is passed, 143.3, scrutiny wala, okay? And by the AO, following was observed. Point A against the SSE. Point B in the order is in the favor of the SSE. So SSE being agreed with the point A, okay, this part of the order is not my favor. He is going to commissioner appeals. Yahan pe. He is going to commissioner appeals. Okay. However, commissioner wants to revise the order under 263 for the point B, because this is in the favor of the SSE. And the higher authorities are saying, no, this order is erroneous. This is wrong. So part of the order has gone for appeals. Part of the order they want to rectify erroneous order under 263. Who wants to do this? Higher authorities. Can they do? Answer is yes. However, commissioner wants to revise under 263 for point B. Is it possible? Yes. It is possible, as doctrine of partial merger is applicable in case of 263. Partial merger, complete merger pe they can frame an MCQ and ask where it is partial merger, where it is complete merger. Table I have already given you. However, the one second. However, the commissioner cannot revise the order for point A as the same is subject matter of appeal. That's what I told you the very first line. If the part of the case is pending with the appeals, you can't go for 263. But for remaining part, can we go for 263? Because that is erroneous for the department. Answer is yes. An order cannot be said to have been made subject of appeal if appeal has been disposed of by appellate authority without passing an order. Okay. So if appeal is disposed of and all, then can you consider it for the 263? Yes. That's all for you. Your doctrine of partial merger is clear or not with this example? 2 minutes time I am giving. I'm here only. Read it and put me a message in chat box. Clear. थोड़ा सा लॉ के जैसा है ना, तो पढ़ लो आराम से. And just wait. After completing 264, when I do this comparative table, it will be very clear. You are studying for the first time. This is not a crash course. So thoda sa to base building ke liye you have to study in detail. I want you all to read this para and ask me doubt. Now, you can read at home later, but now. Clear? Check and say, is it clear or not? Yeah, if you're listening to it for the first time, definitely it will take time. All right, thank you that it's all clear. Chalo. So let us go to the next part of it now. Okay. So once again, if a part of the case is pending with CIT appeals, for the remaining part, if we feel it is prejudicial to revenue as a higher authority, we can ask to revise the order to the AO. Now, what is the procedure? Again, R for reading, just know it. The higher authorities, I always said I'll call them higher authorities, may call for and examine the records of any proceedings under the Act. And if he considers that any order passed by the AO is prejudicial to the interest of revenue, he can revise and rectify that assessment. Record shall include all the records. He will check all the records. He will examine the records. So record means he shall include all records related to proceedings available at the time of examination. This means any material which was not available at the time of assessment, but now is it available? Can you consider that also? Answer is yes. He must make a cause to be made such inquiry, because the reason is that you didn't make inquiry, na? So now make the inquiry. No revision order under 260 will be passed without giving SSC an opportunity of heard. Finally, he may pass such revision order as the circumstances of the case justify, including an order enhancing, increasing the tax, modifying, or cancelling the assessment and directing a fresh assessment. Under 263, can the higher authority say, no, this order is only wrong, just cancel it and just pass a fresh order, AO? Do that, please. Answer is yes. Time limit. 2 years from the end of the financial year in which order sought to be revised was passed. Suppose, we'll write an example here. Suppose order passed on 19th September 21. So where this year ends? 31st March 22. 2 years from the end of the financial year in which order is passed by AO. I want all of you to write this example. AO passed order on 19 July 21. So end of the financial year is March 22 plus 2 years. So 31st March 2024 is the time till when this revision order is to be passed. Under 263. Write down. Chalo. Shall we move ahead? लिख लिया आपने? Now, this is like, one time you read it and you remember. Whenever you are talking about time limit for revision, time limit for rectification, time excluded is time given to opportunity. SSC ko you gave the time, no. So that will be excluded in 2 years, any period during which the proceedings of this was pending. These are like points ki ek bar are for reading, and you should know ki always this period is to be excluded. Yeah, 2 years time is important. 263 order can be revised within 2 years from the end of the financial year in which AO has passed the order which is to be revised. Okay, right. Now, appeals against order under 263. The revision order passed by PCCIT and all under 263 can be appealed to tribunal. Now, who is, dominating here? The department. Higher authorities, no, this order. As it is as an SSC, I was aggrieved with the AO's order. And now higher authorities, they did revision or bada diya mera tax. Now 263, can we go to ITET, High Court, Supreme Court? Answer is yes. So revision order passed by the higher authorities, can it go to the tribunal? Answer is yes. 263 versus 154. Higher authorities can exercise power even in case where the issue is debatable. Revision power under 263 is not comparable with the power of the rectification where mistake is apparent. I told you what is the difference between 154 and 263. 154 we have completed where you can rectify your order. AO can do it himself or higher authorities can do, or the SSC can also request. 4 years ka time for 154. But that is if the mistake is apparent from the record. If the mistake is apparent from the record. Okay. And here they feel, no, there is something wrong. You didn't check properly and all. Then they are going for 263. So here we are closing with the 263. Shall I say the gist and is it clear? Ek baar check karo. 263 is initiated when the department feels that the order is prejudicial to the revenue. This is initiated by the higher authorities whose name is PCIT, CIT, CCIT and PCCIT. And the order passed by AO is erroneous for the following reasons. He passed the order without making any inquiry. He gave relief without taking any proof. He didn't follow the CBDT. Did you all underline the clue words as I am underlining? Or the order was not passed according to the Supreme Court and High Court's judgment in our own jurisdiction. So without considering that, passed. 263 order revision can be initiated considering doctrine of partial merger for issues other than which are there in the appeal. Okay. But if the appeal is closed, then for that also they can initiate. Okay. Now the procedure is just examine all the records which were not there that time or without proof you have taken and all. Meanwhile, give the opportunity of being heard. Time limit for completing the assessment under 263 is 2 years from the time when order was passed by the AO. Okay. And there's quite a difference between 263 and 154 that we have discussed. Now let us go for revision of order, which is not prejudicial to revenue. Okay. In favor of AO. Tax can never be enhanced. These are like punchlines of 264. Revision of the order not prejudicial to revenue. But this time, who is the aggrieved? SSC. So SSC has got option. Go to CIT appeals, ITET, High Court, Supreme Court. If not, go to 264. You know, generally no one goes for 264 directly. When they will go for 264? Because CIT appeals time is 30 days. Suppose this 30 days is over and you are not eligible to go. Chalo, let us take a chance. 264 has got lot of peculiarities. So just focus and first understand that. Then when I read, it will be clear and then we'll see comparative also. Listen. 263 is initiated by the higher authorities. 264 is initiated by the SSC. 263, it is prejudicial to revenue. They are saying, no, aap tax kam pay kar rahe ho or pay karo. 264, SSC is saying, I am aggrieved. But when AO's order is a problem for me, I have option. CIT appeals, ITET, High Court, Supreme Court or 264. Listen carefully. So many times repeatedly asked question is, in 264, if you are not able to win, what are the options with SSC? Full stop. Full stop, I call it. 264 order ke against you cannot go in ITET. Question of law, you cannot go in High Court, Supreme Court. Done is done. So 264, no one would take that risk directly because here that hierarchy is open. Even 263, the hierarchy is open. 264, no, please. Clear to all of you? This is the peculiarity. So let me tell you practically when do we go? SSC can go for 264. The beautiful part is whether you win or lose, department is never going to enhance your tax. 264 is all in the favor of the SSC. 263 all in the favor of the department. But we will go generally when CIT appeals we had to make in 30 days and the time is over and all, then we will go for 264. Can we go for both? No. Now you read it. It will be very easy and clear to all of you. Yes. I know some topics are so interesting now, dear students. We start working out the problems like format, for capital gain, slum sale also. Someone was asking today what is important in capital gain. So it's like every second exam, they are asking the questions for slum sale and an MCQ on buyback. These are the two hot favorite areas in the capital gain. Come back now, ये procedure तो पढ़ना ही है. Orders which may be revised erroneous, not covered under 263, not prejudicial to the revenue, passed by the authority subordinate to the PCSE. Means who is passing? AO. No order under this section can be passed which is prejudicial to the SSE. SSE का नुकसान नहीं होगा. 264, there won't be any loss for SSE. Order which is not appealable before the commissioner appeals can also be referred to commissioner for revision. Order which is not appealable before the commissioner appeal can also be referred to commission for revision. Now commission appeal ko time khatam ho gaya or whatever. Now go 264. Either on his own motion, either on own motion of the higher authorities or an application made by SSE for revision. Anyone can go for 264, department or SSE. Time limit for filing the application. Where revision has been, now see 263 is initiated only by higher authorities. 264 higher authorities can also do or the SSE can also do. So now dono ke time limit will be given. Where revision has been initiated by the SSE, application must be made within 1 year from the date on which order in question was communicated, means order is received. Order is communicated means order is received, or date on which he otherwise came to know. However, higher authorities can admit a belated application. Everywhere 30 days, 60 days time limit you can extend for sufficient reason. And in computing these days, the day order is served, or if SSE is, this is all excluded. ये पढ़ना है तो पढ़ो, बार-बार नहीं पढ़ना है तो scratch कर दो. PCCITs, the higher authorities can revise order on his own motion within 1 year from the date of passing the order. Department within 1 year from the date of passing the order. SSE within 1 year from the date of receiving the order. They can make an application for revision of order. This is the time limit, not for passing the order. Making application for revision of order under section 264. Now procedure is same: examine all the records, make inquiry and pass the order. However, order should not be passed prejudicial to SSE. Mark it on this. MCQs are also asked. 264 may no loss of the SSE. Now time limit for passing order, because the application can be made by department also, by SSE also, passing order also time limit is given. Where higher authorities act on their own motion within 1 year from the date of the original order. Yes, within 1 year from the date of the original order. You can just complete the assessment. You can file the application also within 1 year from the date of order, and within that same time you need to rectify also. It's like that. Where application is made by SSE, then within 1 year from the end of the financial year in which you made the application you can make within 1 year, and wahan se in 1 year from the end of financial year the SSE's order application will be solved. In computing above time taken for opportunity of heard, proceedings are stayed, ये सब exclude होगा. Literally do like this. ऐसे एक पेन कर दो, एक बार पढ़ लेना, एग्जाम के पहले छोड़ देना. Okay. Now these are orders to be like rectified, and for time limit we need to make a diagram. ये पूछते हैं एग्जाम में. They ask this. So did you all make this diagram with me? ये वाला partial merger. And 263, 264 अलग से अभी जरूरत नहीं है, but 264 में I'm giving you the time limit. First of all, time limit for application under section 264. Revision order के लिए when can you make the time limit? First, initiated by SSE. If SSE initiates, then when he can make the application? Within 1 year of receipt of order. You received the order on 18th August 21. So from here, 1 year, you can make the application. If it is initiated by higher authorities, is it okay if I write higher authorities? Who are higher authorities? Principal Commissioner of Income Tax, Commissioner of Income Tax, Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, and one more, Principal Commissioner of Income Tax. Okay, Commissioner and Chief Commissioner, Principal Commissioner and Principal Chief Commissioner. These are the higher authorities. Then here, within 1 year of, see the language, you can put your hands on the B point and see. 1 year from the date of passing order. 1 year from date of passing order. Can I say date of passing the order is 14th August 21? Wahan se 1 year, department can make application. SSE can make application within 1 year. Now, same flowchart, please come down. Time limit for passing revision order. Time limit. You know, by writing this once, don't say, ma'am, ye sab dates kaise exam mein yaad rahegi. I am telling you, trust the procedure. When you do things in writing, the pen will flow in 3 hours. Time limit for passing revision order. Time limit for passing the revision order. If it is by SSE, this side, within 1 year from end of the financial year in which application is made. Within 1 year from end of financial year in which application is made. Within 1 year from the end of the financial year in which application is made. Okay, so when did you make application? 18th August 21. Then end of the financial year is March 22 plus 1 year. That is March 23. It will be done. For higher authorities, the time is less. Is this clear? Should I scroll up and all? Are you able to write with me? Because I'm saying loudly. If my writing is not clear, just listen and write. Within 1 year from the end of the financial year in which application is made. Application made in August 21. End of the financial year is March 22. Wahan se 1 year. For 263, how much time? From there, 2 years. 264 from there, 1 year. All right. Now come to, if department has initiated, okay, the day they have passed the order within 1 year, they can make the application. And time for completing is here within 1 year from original order. They don't have much time. They themselves are initiating 264 and they are doing the correction, so they can do it fast, no? Within 1 year from the original order. 14th August 21 plus 1 year, that is 13th August 22. They have 1 year time from the date of the original order. Read the A point. And this is the B point. Keep your notes open. Is it clear now, the flow chart? All right. Let us come back here. See. So time limit for the revision order. Here I am. Time limit for application is too clear. Time limit for the flow chart. Where order is, where the higher authorities act on their own motion within 1 year from date of original order. And where application is made by us, then within 1 year from the end of the financial year. Orders which cannot be revised. Theory question. Market. Case study based question also we will do. What are the orders which cannot be revised under 264? Where an order is appealable but no appeal has been made to CIT appeals or tribunal, and time within which such appeal can be made, 30 days is not expired. 2 times they have asked the question that AO has passed the order, say on 12th of April, and 17th of April, the SSC wants to go for 264. Can he go? Basic question is asked so many times in exam. AO has passed the order on 12th of April. And SSC is saying, I am aggrieved. 17th of April, I want to revise the order which is prejudicial to interest of SSC 100. Can he go? Answer is no. Department will say, wait, 30 days are not over. You can change your mind and go to Commissioner Appeals. From there, ITET, High Court, Supreme Court. 264 is the dam, like the door is going to be closed. After that, no other option you have. So, which order cannot be revised under 264? If time is yet pending to go for CIT appeals. Okay. But where an appeal lies with the Commissioner Appeals or Appellate Tribunal and right of appeal is waived off by the SSC, the Principal Commissioner or Commissioner may revise the order even before the expiry. The language is tricky, but 1111 mark question. AO has passed the order on 12th April. SSC is saying on 17th April, I want to go for 260. Arey, department is saying, wait, still time is there. SSC is saying, you want, I'll give you in writing. I don't want to go for Commissioner Appeals. I'm waiving my right to go to Commissioner. Now, will you do the revision now? Answer is yes. Because when an appeal lies to Commissioner Appeals or Tribunal and the right of appeal is waived off by the SSC, I don't want to go to Commissioner Appeals, ITET and all. You please do 264. Okay, they will do. Where order has been made subject of an appeal to Commissioner Appeals or to Appellate Tribunal. Example, SSC has agreed with point A. Now, I want all of you to write here, doctrine of complete merger. Doctrine of complete merger is applicable to 264. I gave it to you in the flow chart. Again, I'll read after some time. Suppose SSC is agreed with point A and point B in order passed by the AO. He preferred an appeal to Commissioner Appeals in the respect of the point A. In my case, there are 2 matters in this order. Point A, I'm going to Commissioner Appeals and seek to file revision petition under 264 point B. Is it possible? It's not possible. He cannot file the revision under 264 due to doctrine of total merger. 264 says either you go full there or you come here. Dono jaga multitasking is not good. One after another work you do, quality good you do. Multitasking is a myth. Out of the way I'm saying, but it is actually true. Listen, is this clear or you want me to talk more about this example? Okay, one part of the case is going to Commissioner Appeals, another you cannot. The same if it had been 263, no, we can. See how smart department is, always lopsided. When they want to revise the order in 263, oh, one matter you have gone for Commissioner, another we will do 263 revision and we'll ask you to pay more tax. That time they are doing partial merger. When the SSC is saying, okay, one part I am aggrieved, I have gone to 263, I mean, say, sorry, Commissioner Appeals, another you take care here. No, we will not. It is to be noted that for the purpose of 264, doctrine of merger is applicable. On the other hand, for 147, 154, 263, doctrine of partial merger is applicable. Market super, इसको KitKat खिलाओ, 5 star खिलाओ, ये आपको MCQs में भी पूछ सकते हैं. Very important line. Very important. And read it, please. When I say something जिसको 5 star खिलाया ना, उसको पढ़ना है बार बार. Are you clear with the flow? हम कहां से कहां जा रहे हैं? Acid orders which cannot be revised. And now what am I saying? It is to be noted that for the purpose of 264, doctrine of merger is applicable. Fee is 500. Appeal against order 264. Yes. Revision order passed by these higher authorities cannot be appealed against tribunal. However, petition for it can be given, but not otherwise. SSC cannot claim the right of revision in respect of earlier year on the basis of finding of tribunal for a subsequent year. Okay. This you cannot open up and check other things now. An order by the higher authorities declining to interfere shall not be deemed to be an order prejudicial to the SSC. This is a common point, that an order which is passed by higher authority declining to interfere shall not be deemed to be an order which is prejudicial to the SSC. Directly you cannot say it is prejudicial and I want to go for 264. Okay. Chalo, now we are ready to go for 263 and 264 comparison. 263, order which is prejudicial to the revenue. Underline the clue words. 264, prejudicial to the SSC. Who can go for 263? Higher authorities. Who can go for 264? Higher authorities or SSC. Revision is possible of issue which have not been considered. So doctrine of partial merger is applicable for 263. Doctrine of total merger. Here SSC doesn't apply because 263 is prejudicial to revenue. Only department will apply. Here both can apply. And time limit for application is within 1 year from the date of order was communicated. Time for passing the order 263, 2 years from the end of the financial year. And here it is 1 year from end of financial year if initiated by SSC. And higher authorities then 1 year from the original order. For this I have given, you can write here, refer flow chart. I have already given you the flow chart. Now, fees is not applicable. Here the fees is applicable. Okay. Department will not pay the fees. No, you have to pay the fees. Appeal can be filed. Okay, 263 is open. Can you further take 263 to ITET and higher authorities? Yes. 264, it's a full stop. 263 is beneficial to revenue. 264 is beneficial to SSC. Okay. So here we complete 263 and 264 assessment. Now the last part of this topic which is pending is repetitive appeals, and this 2 sections are there. Nice small theory questions are asked, and you can, it's very easy also. Special provisions for avoiding the repetitive appeals. The name is only very clear, but still I'll give you a diagram, I mean say an example for this, and then if you read in 2 minutes it will be clear. Are you all following or not? 263, 264 thoda time leke we have studied, but 1 hour, that 1 hour quality good. Now when you do revision, no, 15 minutes, trust me, if you read all your 3D makeup of your textbook and your flow charts, no, 15 minutes within the next 24 hours. How you watch the movie and that dialogues, that scenes, and whatever you like in the movie goes, songs. Now next day subah utte se you remember everything about the movie, because that's the effect on our subconscious mind. So when a teacher is explaining, forget about the material what I am discussing, but my explanation is going on in your mind. So you can just complete this revision in 15 minutes for sure. So ye karna hai, and you don't have time now, dear students, ki once I complete the portion and you will start the revision. So I know you are studying other subject also, but wherever you can stretch little bit, ki chalo, whatever ma'am has taught yesterday, let us revise before the next class starts. Then you will understand the question answers also, what we are discussing in a better way. Okay. So now I'm talking about 158A, that is the avoiding the repetitive appeals. Okay. What is this now? It's very simple. Acha, when I'm writing this, time limit and all, I wanted all of you to come back. I don't know if you have made this initial flow chart, kal jo padhaya tha, for appeals and revisions. If SSC's order is made by AO, if not, just see it orally. You can go to CIT appeals. 30 days, I said 60 days, High Court, 90 days, sorry. And then from there again, Supreme Court, whatever number of the days. Now, instead of CIT appeals, you can go for 264. But 264, I told you, no further procedure. Now, is it clear or not? No further procedure. And as an SSC, you can go to CIT appeals. But AO, for the order of the AO, the higher authorities can revise the order. Acha, 263 may, if they revise the order and not satisfied, come back. Come back to ITAT, High Court, Supreme Court. So this diagram is making it very clear. 263 has still got options open, but 264 is a flowchart. You want to take down or you have already taken, please put me a message. If yes, then I will quickly go to repetitive appeals. Write a short note on repetitive appeals and of course case law based question also. Clear? Chalo. Oh, sorry. Time limit is clear. Now see what is repetitive appeals. Okay, I'm explaining you this concept of repetitive appeals under section 158. Once I explain this, then we will read the language and it will be clear to you. Okay, suppose I call it as relevant case. Relevant case means some expenses are, say, disallowed in your financial year 2018-19, 2019-20, 2020. Every year you debit this expense and they are disallowed in your running relevant case. But in some other case, same expense are disallowed, and for that you have gone to Commissioner Appeals and then you went to ITAT and now your case is pending with High Court or it is Supreme Court. You're waiting for some judgment. It's a question of law because your business is like that. For example, pharmaceutical companies were fighting that we need to give the freebies to the doctors and all. Please allow it. We need to give them samples and all. And they said, no, that is bribing. You cannot claim it as expense. So this is just an example I'm discussing. So like this, what is happening? Same. In other case, same expense is disallowed for long back, say 14-15. This is disallowed and this case is pending with the High Court or with the Supreme Court. Okay. Now, if this case is pending with the High Court, with the Supreme Court, and we are waiting for the judgment, then can the AO file a declaration in the form number 8 and he can ask the department, not AO, sorry, SSC. SSC will file a declaration in form number 8 and he will ask to department that, sir, please wait. I'm not, again, for these cases, I will start with CIT appeals, then I take to, repeatedly for that same issue, you will fight for how many years? Are you getting? So, sir, we will keep this on hold Means you just do the assessment in routine, and whatever is the decision for similar expense in 14 and 15, whatever is the decision of the Supreme Court, according to that in other case, and that we will accept in the relevant case. And according to that, if the Supreme Court says no, this is disallowed, then you add back, do the reassessment. If they say it is allowed, you allow and give me my refund if it is disallowed now. So in short, for that same kind of case which is already pending in higher authority for some earlier year, 14, 15, 15, 16, for that same case, I can't take baby steps again, get CIT appeals, ITAT, High Court. Wait, if the Supreme Court is giving decision in the favor of department, then you apply that to all these years, disallow, I'll pay tax. If the Supreme Court is giving, allowing, because it's a question of law. So once allowed, allowed for all the years, once disallowed, disallow for all the years. So that we will save our time and department's time in the repetitive appeal. This is what is repetitive appeal under section 158A. Any conflict in your mind? Irrespective of recording is going on, you can unmute and speak up if you have a doubt. ऊपर से तो नहीं जा रहा ना? Are you all following or not? It's a very easy topic, 263, 264, repetitive appeals. Very easy. And then when we discuss the question answers after this, it will be like super clear. Answers also I have printed so that you get the language command. I'll give you some theory questions also, which weightage wise, which are asked. Yeah, all clear? So repetitive appeals, quickly we will read the para, this para. Where SSC claims a declaration in form number 8, verified in the prescribed manner, that any question of law arising in case of assessment year which is pending before assessing officer or with ITET, and hereinafter it is called as relevant case. So let us call relevant case Abhi ka, recent ones, 1920. And with a question of law arising in his case for another assessment year, which is pending before High Court and Supreme Court, I call it other case. Means same kind of case for question of law is pending with High Court or Supreme Court, kahin bhi, for earlier years. I call it other case. And if the AO or the authority, as the case may be, agrees to apply in relevant case, in the relevant case, apply the final decision of question of law in other case. Sir, please wait. Whatever is the question of law's decision for High Court and Supreme Court in other case, we will apply this to our relevant case. Is the language clear now? What is relevant case, dear students? Case which is pending now, just with A or smaller authorities. What is the other case? Same point, same question of law. For earlier years, the case is pending with the High Court. AO or appellate authority, as the case may be, by order in writing, admit the claim of the SSC if he is satisfied that question of law arising in the relevant case is exactly identical to the question of law. If the department is satisfied, they will say yes, or they can reject the claim. No, this is different, that is department different. If you don't agree with our order, go to CIT appeals ITET, ye alag hai, wo alag hai. No, we will not go for this avoiding repetitive. They can reject. Admit the claim, reject the claim. Underline the clue words. Write down these years. These are the 3D makeups. Chalo. Such order shall be final and shall not be called in question of any proceedings by way of appeal or revision. If they accept, then whatever is the question, they won't do any revision. They'll just stop that appealing and all, because this matter is closed. Once the question of law is decided by High Court or Supreme Court, you cannot go further. Where a claim is admitted, the AO or the appellant authority may make an order disposing of the relevant case without awaiting the final decision on the question of law. Abhi to these all cases to you close, and the SSC shall not be entitled to raise in the relevant case such question of law in appeal. When decision of this point is important, question of law in other case becomes final, it shall be applied to relevant case, and the AO or the authority shall, if necessary, amend the order if required. So now you do whatever assessment. If you want disallow, disallow. But in the other case, if the Supreme Court gives decision in our favor, we want refund for all this along with interest. See, otherwise you cannot revise the order beyond 4 years, no? And this is like pending for years. So wait for all these years till the decision is done and apply that. When you apply that decision here, you are saving your time and department's time for the repetitive appeals on same question of law. That's why the title, Special Provisions for Avoiding the Repetitive Appeals. Clear? This we do in our life skills also, you know. We try to clarify for once. It's not who is winning and who is losing, but we make equations. No, chalo, theek hai. So this means this means this. Hai na? Chalo. Last part for this chapter now. Procedure when identical question of law is pending before Supreme Court. Okay? 158 AA. So there is another case which is pending with the Supreme Court. And question of law is pending over there also. Now here department will say, here who was trying to make the appeal and form and all? We, the SSC. I want all of you to put SSC. Here, this higher authorities, they will say, okay, if you wish, we will wait and then we will apply that on this side also. We will not take it further. Followed or not? I'll draw a diagram for this also and make it clear. And then when we come back and read, it would be just like reading. 1 second. Huh? Are you able to see the screen? 1 second. Chalo. Identical question of law is pending before Supreme Court. Okay. In some other case, this is like section 158 AA. Same. Achha, this is initiated by the department. Ye wala jo repetitive appeals hai na, if you want, write down, initiated by SSC. SSC will fill up the form and SSC will do the things. This is like initiated by department. And now let us see what this is. Some other case is pending with Supreme Court. Okay. And relevant case, AO passed order. Now when AO has passed order, this time in favor of SSC. AO has passed order in the favor of the SSC. And similar case is pending with the Supreme Court. Now, I want all of you to write it like a story only so that it's clear. Now, higher authorities, I call them PCCIT, you know. Higher authorities are saying, we will see who can go to Commissioner Appeals, only the SSC. But if the order is not good, who can go to ITET? Department or SSC? Now higher authorities are saying, we will wait to go for ITET till Supreme Court decision. Write down. Till Supreme Court decision comes in other case. See, authorities are saying, if you allow, they are taking permission from SSC. Who is taking this permission? Higher authorities. We will wait to go for ITET till Supreme Court decision comes in other case, which is similar to this. Okay. Now, decision is pending with department. Decision in favor of SSE. If High Court gives decision in favor of SSE, then the answer is no appeal. No appeal to ITET. No point in doing the appeal to ITET, because similar case is already gone to Supreme Court and Supreme Court has given the decision. So हम अब क्यों जाएं ITET के पास? First option. Second option, decision in favor of department or this side. Supreme Court says no, department is right. Now department can go to ITET. In short, 60 days time hai na, to go to ITET. They will wait. They will pause that time. Because similar question of law is pending with High Court and or Supreme Court. And if Supreme Court gives decision in the favor of SSE for question of law, what's the point in we going to ITET? Who is asking for this? Department. Why? Because decision is given in the favor of SSE. I started from there. Decision is given in the favor of SSE. Similar case department is pending with Supreme Court. Now higher authorities are saying we'll wait. We won't go to ITET now. We'll wait for the decision of Supreme Court. If it is in the favor of the SSE, close. No appeal to ITET. If it is in the favor of department, in that case, then this case also we can go no and fight. So that's what is procedure to be followed for identical question. This is not repetitive appeals. This is like procedure to be followed by department. Is the diagram clear? Or anyone is having any doubt, ask please. You want any re-explanation or clear, put me a message in chat box. It's very easy. I'm going little slower because see, when we teach other topics, no trust and taxation, 115 BAC, we come across all that in our internship and all. This I don't know. Unless you are too much involved in the practice and all, we don't come across this every day. Okay? Chalo, let us read it now. See, first point. PCCIT, CIT is of opinion that I call them again higher authorities. That if there is a question of law arising in the case of SSE for any year relevant case, Abika 2019 and 20. I'm just writing the year. Year could be 21.
Ma'am, in which page is this matter is?
On page number 8, repetitive appeals. Check. Got it? Chalo. Page number 8 of this chapter. Once you complete
Yes,
that, got it, dear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. This is, once you complete actually those, what do you say? Or those appeals, CIT and all till High Court. Then 263, 264 we have done first because I thought to complete. In between that they have given this repetitive appeals, but it's going to now higher authorities are saying that there's a question of law arising in case for relevant assessment year, just any current assessment year you take 19, 20 or any. Identical question of law for another year for SSE is pending before Supreme Court. Okay. Or with specially petition High Court say 2014 या जो भी कोई पुराने year का case है. PCCIT में instead of directing AO to appeal to ITET, direct AO to make application to ITET in prescribed form within 60 days from date of receipt of order, stating that appeal on question of law arising in relevant case may be filled when decision on question of law comes in other case. We are saying to ITET along with the permission of the SSE that we will not file the application now ITET, we will wait for the decision in the question of law in other case. Such directions can be given by higher authorities only if acceptance is received by SSE. Here we were applying to the AO that, okay, let us wait, whatever is decision you apply here and close. And here what it is? The department. So such directions can be given. 1 second. Such directions can be given only if the acceptance is given by the SSE. That question of law in other cases is identical. If no acceptance is given SSE, no, that is different, this is different. Oh, higher authorities, if you want to go to ITET, you go. No, we will fight that also, we will fight this also. Then okay. Where order of the CIT appeals not in tune with the Supreme Court. So where the order of the CIT appeal is not conformity with the final decision on question of law in other case, now the higher authorities may direct AO to appeal to ITET. Okay, CIT appeal is not conformity. CIT appeal gives order in favor of the SSE and Supreme Court. CIT appeals यहाँ पे लिखो favor of SSE, whereas final decision not in favor of SSE. Now can the higher authorities go to ITET? Yes. Such appeal shall be filed within 60 days, same time, on which order of Supreme Court in other cases come. In short, we want to extend the time of 60 days. Let us wait. Clear? Simple it is. PCCIT is having that question of law arising in the relevant case is same as question of law in other case. Now in other case, if the SSE is winning, we will not go only to ITET. If other case, the department is winning, then for this case also we will go to the ITET and continue. So pause the period for going to ITET. That's what is applicable here. So here we complete with the portion of appeals and revision. Yesterday's class, what were highlight questions I have given you? What are the reasons when you can add additional ground, additional evidence? CIT appeal can give additional evidence for 4 reasons. That's like repeatedly asked question. Second repeatedly asked question in yesterday was about the ITET. That if there is a dispute, how they will solve the matter? Simple majority. But if the members are equal, they will refer it to president. President will refer it to some other member of benches other than this. And now taking majority of these members and the other members, decision will be taken. So like this, procedural theory questions are asked repeated, and in choice sometimes, you question number 5B is this, and A is so easy for trust, for calculations, for NRS. You cannot miss out on these in choices. So just read it. If you have any doubt here, you can ask me. Shall we go to the question answers now, or anyone wants any revision? Ask me, 2 minutes. Question answers, if you know the answer in one line, it's not true and false. You need to write the language. These are case law. Okay, what is the law related to this? First point. Second point is what happened in the case which they have given. Third is conclusion. So this is the 3 part you should break and answer the case law based question. I'll go little quick now because I've spent a lot of time in reading out these procedural things, and notes also we have discussed. 263, 264 comparison of. So this part we can do, provided we remember all that. Some of the questions are like asked so many times, repeated again. Chalo, let us begin. All this we have finished. 263, 264, and here to your first question. Read the question carefully. Language is important. Do it again at home. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Daulat is in, these are all past exam papers picked up from, and very important. I feel they are repeated. Daulat, an individual, filled his return of income for assessment year 22-23, erroneously offering for taxation interest received from notified relief bonds. Relief bonds पे तो tax नहीं लगता, but by mistake He offered that also. And the AO completed the assessment also, accepting the income. Now, Daulat has furnished complete particulars related to interest income in the return, and he approaches your advice, what he can do and what are the remedies available. So, it's not written here, but the first thing is to file revised return. If time limit is there, what's the time limit? If a year ending is March 22, revised return dates have been reduced. You can revise your return only within 9 months. That is December 2022. I'm not going to read out word to word unless I feel language is important, because we have done all this. So 119 CBDT can accept an application for claim of exemption and all. So SSC can make an application, or he can file a revised return. And if time is over for the revised return, he can go for commissioner appeals. Deduction can be claimed before commissioner appeal by raising additional ground. Okay. Can we give additional ground? Yes. Additional evidence? Yes. If 143 assessment is challenged in CIT appeals and is satisfied that such claim cannot be made at the time of filing the return, some proof was not there, now you want to give additional, those 4 reasons you remember, they were asking for proof, we didn't give, we wanted to give, they didn't accept, neither they asked nor we gave, and for any other reason without asking the explanation, they did the assessment. So these are 4 reasons. Can we give additional evidence to the CIT appeals? Please check these bonds. I have all, and the interest is fully exempt. They will do it. Okay. Next, discuss how an appeal before an income tax tribunal can be dealt with when there is a difference of opinion among the members of the bench. This I said very clearly. Already, like I think 4 times we have discussed this. Members of bench of tribunal differ in opinion, then rule of majority will follow. When they are equally divided, the case will be referred to precedent, to some other members. Rule of majority will prevail based on opinion of all members who have heard the case, the original and this. Therefore, in the given, this statement is not correct. You cannot just keep it pending. You need to close it. Can a rectification order under 254, whenever this word comes, no, dear students, rectification, write down. Rectification of mistake is 154. Mistake which is apparent on record. What is rectification of order under 254? Rectification of ITAT order. ITAT has passed an order and later they feel, no, there is a mistake. Can they rectify under 254? Yes. So this is a question regarding that. So can a, ye 2-3 baar pooch chuke, important question this is. Can a rectification, I hope my speed is fine. Question and answers are to be done by you, and if you have a doubt, ask, but still I'm reading out weightage wise. If you have doubt, ask me, pause me. Otherwise, you read at home. Tomorrow, we are starting with the capital gains, buyback and slum sale and all. That time, in the initial starting, you can ask me. Can a rectification order, I want you all to write this. The more you write it, the more clearer you are. 254 of Income Tax Act can be passed by Income Tax Appellate Tribunal beyond 6 months from the date of the order. No. Within 6 months. Rectification of order of ITAT within 6 months from the end of the month in which order is passed. Okay. And if the SSC says it from the 6 months from when he has initiated. However, as per Supreme Court's decision in Iyengar Spinning Weaving Mills case, tribunal can rectify any mistake apparent from record and amend any order if application for rectification was made by SSC. Then whenever SSC makes the application from their 6 months, ITAT from the end of the month in which order is passed. Same for 264. 1 year from the date order is passed if the department is initiating. And if we are initiating, then 1 year from the end of the financial year in which order is passed. So they can rectify within 6 months. Same this question is. 3rd and 4th is absolutely same. If the rectification is done on my own, then 6 months from the end of the month in which order is passed. And if rectification based on AOs or all, then it is 6 months from the end of the month in which the original order is passed or when the application is made. If application is made within 6 months from the date of application, 6 months they will rectify. Read it at home, dear students. Okay. Yes. Next question is, an assessment is completed by SSC was set aside by the ITET on 30th of January with a specific direction to re-examine certain disallowance. Before the fresh assessment is made, AO discovers that some other income has also escaped assessment. How should he proceed? See, ITET, before doing, everywhere we have seen the procedure that if the case is going to ITET, ITET will make further inquiry. It can ask the lower authorities, AO, nahi, ye check karo, wo leke aao, and all. But while checking, the AO feels, no, something more is also pending. Can they add on here? See, they can add more evidences, but they cannot add more other than this ground. Like AO's power, while the ITET is processing one order, AO's power is to get all the details and submit. If AO feels no, something more has escaped assessment, put it again in 147. 147 whole reassessment procedure is revamped. 148 notice and then permissions and then procedure you need to follow, we have studied. So for AO, it is not possible to go beyond this. Answer is, when specific direction to examine certain disallowance and all by ITET, AO is legally bound to comply with the directions and he shall not consider any other issue. However, if he feels that any other income has also escaped assessment, he can issue notice under 148 for doing assessment of income escaping assessment, overshown, undershown, all those reasons. AO shall not consider escaped income along with the directions of ITET. Let this matter be closed by ITET, and for that separately you issue a notice and carry on. Okay. This question is also asked 2-3 times. High Court does not have an inherent power to review an earlier order passed by it on merits. Actually, they cannot review that order. Koi bhi hai, Commissioner appeals ITET, that's right. The power to review is not inherent power and must be conferred by law specifically. But if someone is feeling, no, sir, please once think this question of law, what decision you have taken is not correct, then they may do. Otherwise, on their own, can they review their order? On their own, can the High Court say, no, question of law, we took the decision A, now it is B? No. Power to review is not inherent and must be conferred by law, specifically by express provision. Power to restore the appeal cannot be treated to be power to review earlier order in the case they have given. Hence, High Court does not have the power to inherent power to review the order. There are some questions which will be more clear in the question answer form rather than linking. Okay. And remind me, as some of you have been asking, I want to give you the limits also. Like we are to going to the CIT appeals, ITET, High Court. Department can go only if there is a tax effect above a limit that they can ask in MCQ. I'll make you write at the end. Just wait for 10 more minutes and it will be clear. ठीक है? Okay. Next, an appeal lies to High Court from every order passed in by ITET if High Court is satisfied that the case involves a substantial question of law. Under what circumstances is, see, question of law, you can go to High Court, and so question of law is, the language of the act. Whether you mean this or you mean this, interpretation of the language of income tax. If there is a debate, people try to bend the law. No, we will, this means this. They say, no, this means. So that is question of law. Question of fact, highest fact finding authority is ITET. Close it. ITET means question of fact is regarding this issue, what all are the ground? हम वो memorandum of पूरा submit करते हैं ना to the Commissioner Appeals and to the ITET. So what all are the facts and all? The last fact finding authority is ITET. So in this question, you will get the answer. What do you mean by question of law? Question of law is law which is debatable. Okay. It does not have a binding precedent, or it is to be understood something in contradiction with the technical of, like that, language is there. Just read it. This is important. At least 3 times they have asked in different ways. Mark this question number 8 as very important. Because this chapter we know ki agar koi, if someone is aggrieved, what is the way out? They can go to Commissioner Appeals, they can go for 264. If department is aggrieved, they cannot go to the Commissioner Appeals. They can revise their order, or directly they can go to ITET and all that. So now here simple question is, if the SSC is aggrieved in all these cases, then what is the solution for that and the time limit? What are the remedies and what are the time limit? First, order is passed under 143 by AO. AO has passed the order, and in case if there is an error on the record of application, rectification of mistake within 4 years. In case failure to claim deduction or other benefit, then revision of CIT under 264. Directly go, if you are very sure that this is in my favor, then directly you can revise under 264 within 1 year. See, the SSC is aggrieved, huh? Or in any other case, just go routine CIT appeals and all that within 30 days. Okay, so this is for 143.3. Now revision under 263 made by the CIT. So if the CIT appeals has given some division, what is the remedy? Go to ITET within 60 days from date of communication of order. If order is passed under 272A by Director General, you know those waiving off of the penalties. There's a very important section in the penalties. We have not yet done penalties, but just remember, Director General has said ki ye kar do for penalties. Then the SSC can go directly to the ITET. When I do this chapter, I will again say, you remember, we have done this. In this case, SSC need not go to appeals and all, directly they can go. You remember some other cases also, like AO has made the judgment based on the directions of the DRP. So can you say, no, DRP 9 months you took, but you have not given correct guidelines to AO? A has done, no, accept it and then directly go to ITET. So like this, there are few cases already covered yesterday wherein directly you can go to ITET. So this is one of it. You go to ITET within 6 days. And an order under 254. ITET has passed some wrong decision. In case of an error apparent from record, okay, rectify it within 6 months from end of month in which order is passed. Or you can file an appeal to High Court within 120 days. And in question of fact, no remedy. ITET may, against ITET, you feel it is mistake apparent from record, 254 may file an application, get it rectified. ITET, question of law is a problem, go to High Court. ITET, question of fact is a problem, full stop. ITET is last fact finding authority, you cannot go ahead. Dear students, is my speed fine? Please tell me. Samajh mein aa raha hai, and read it also at home. This is your work again to read. Sections, whatever best you can remember, quote it. Rectification of assessment order under 150. These, you know, if you discuss the cases, it's the same story, the same decision. They have made a question based on the case law only. Rectification of assessment under 154 due to subsequent changes of law on retrospective basis. Is it valid? This is also asked 4 times. I've already printed also. Is it valid in law to rectify under 154 due to subsequent changes of law on retrospective basis? 154 may you do rectification if there is a mistake apparent in the record. But what has happened? You passed an order and there is change in the law related to that order, that too with retrospective effect. So do you need to rectify this order in 154? Can you? Answer is yes. Yes. Also state whether Supreme Court judgment would warrant a rectification under 154 in respect of order passed by AO. Retrospective change in law. If the assessment order is plainly and obviously inconsistent with the specific order, that too retrospectively, and if there's a mistake, the AO has got a right to rectify. See, if some things have been corrected in the law, with the retrospective effect, then whatever order you have passed in past, you can rectify if it is within the time limit of 4 years under section 154. Supreme Court ka judgment hai, and they are asking for rectification in respect of order passed earlier by AO. AO, you pass the order. Now see, Supreme Court has given this decision. See, situations different they have given, where originally while passing order under 264, the CIT took a particular view. It was not open to him to rectify his order under 154 on basis of judgment subsequently passed. Okay. So subsequent judgment you cannot revise. Non-consideration of the decision of High Court or Apex Court would always constitute a mistake apparent from record, regardless of judgment being rendered prior to order. Therefore, tribunal can rectify such a mistake by excising it's within 254. But 254 may, if you want to rectify order according to decision passed by High Court, Supreme Court, the time limit should be followed. Okay. Based on above judgment, rectification is possible if judgment was passed prior to the order and not subsequent. In short, if within the time limit, Supreme Court has done the decision, within time limit, Supreme Court decision, then yes. Time limit over, then no, you cannot do anything. But if it is retrospective effect, you can. ठीक है, right? An order of assessment for assessment year, the SSE noticed a mistake, which application under 154 was moved, and subsequently the SSE moved further 154, which was rejected on ground that order once rectified cannot be rectified. Is it right? No. 154 is mistake apparent from record, but if there is again mistake from there, where whatever, see, you rectified the assessment of 1920 now. Now, after rectification, if again there is a mistake from here 4 years, you can do re-rectification again and again. That's what is the answer for this. You read it. Okay. Singh filed her return of income declaring 3.25 lakhs, 143.1, and later was selected for scrutiny and all. AO, after being satisfied, completed the assessment. Subsequently, Commissioner invoked 263, holding that AO has not made any inquiry. 263 revision order. Is invoking of revision order under 263 justified? If AO has adopted a view in which a permissible in law, Commissioner could not exercise his revision power even if there is a loss of revenue. But AO should prove that no, it's not that I have done. If there is an erroneous mistake in AO's order, 263 revision can be done. But sometimes the higher authorities are saying, AO, you didn't check, but AO will prove, no, I checked everything. These are the documents, these are the proof. And then I have taken the decision. Then nothing can be done. Order cannot be revised under 263. Inquiry is not recorded in the assessment order. If something is missed out in writing. So during the assessment, AO raised certain queries which were answered by the SSE. AO satisfied and completed, but relevant queries are available on record and same is not mentioned in the order. AO didn't mention in assessment order, but in his record he's having all the proof. There is nothing erroneous. In such case, this cannot be revised. That's what they have given in the Krishna Cab Box case. If AO has conducted inquiries and satisfied with reply, it does not result in mistake in order completing assessment and without inquiry. However, if AO is satisfied with the inquiry and passed assessment order, if not amount to mistake, hence section of the CIT is erroneous. Okay? So, if the order is erroneous and he has not done anything, fine. But if AO has everything in record, then no problem. This is repeatedly asked question on the partial merger and the total merger. Okay? Let us check this, dear students. Arihant Limited file an appeal to Commissioner appeal against the order of assessment made by AO. So we have filed an appeal to Commissioner appeals, initial, against the order of the AO. The appeal was allowed by Commissioner appeals. The SSE later found that he was entitled to a deduction of 30,000. as bed debt, which he had forgotten to claim, and related amount was not allowed in course of assessment. Further, the issue of deduction was not raised by SSC in appeal before the Commissioner Appeals, and hence it was also not considered by him. You know, I missed out initially, I missed out in Commissioner Appeals also. Subsequently, Arihant Limited applied to Commissioner for revision under 264 to allow such deduction. Examine the power of the Commission. Then blind rule is 264. It is complete merger. A part of this order, you have gone to Commissioner Appeals and they are deciding for the other part. Okay, bed debt, they didn't decide. So can you decide? You cannot go like this. You cannot go for 264 revision of order, because which doctrine is applicable? Doctrine of complete merger. Already for other issues in the same order, you have gone to Commissioner Appeals. Now for this, you cannot go to 264. Answer is CIT cannot revise order which is pending before authority or time of filing has not lapsed. 264 order under appeal cannot be revised. Further, an order that could be appealed against cannot be revised. ठीक है ना? Where an appeal has been filed before appellate authority, entire order merges into the order of the appellate authority, and you cannot initiate to 264 because that provision is not applicable. So an order which is going for appeal, you cannot go for 264 because total merger is applicable here. If CIT appeals and revisions under 264 are not permissible simultaneously, this we have seen. Okay, right. Some more important 2-3 last questions, and then I'll make you write the limits. Okay, before we take this last part, no. Okay, once I want all of you to come to these initial, this flow we have written, no? So on page number 2, where we started with the CIT appeals, now see, when you know the gist of this chapter, for answering further commenting questions, you should be very clear to what I have written on the top. Check it once. If SSC is aggrieved, what all powers? This is the answer of that question also, which is asked 3-4 times, I said. If SSC is aggrieved, what is the option? First, go for rectification of mistake. SSC, AO, or higher authorities, anyone can go for rectification of mistake. If not, SSC can go for CIT appeals, or he can go for 264. What are the options with department? If department feels something is prejudicial to revenue, within the time limit, go for 147. Time limit is given in section 151, and take the permission of higher authorities and all. And 147 may income escaping assessment open. Or department can also go for rectification of mistake, allowed to both. Or department can revise the order. Is this combos clear to all of you? Huh? Repeatedly, they have been asking these combos. And theory questions I will add on to this, and I'll send in a WhatsApp group. Additional evidence or jo bar bar पूछते हैं ना. Already yesterday I have marked like this one. What all are the cases when they can give additional evidence, CIT appeals, how they solve the case. Yeah, this one also. What is the time limit of completion of order by ITET? Okay, so it could be 180 days or max 365 if you pay 20% in advance. Like that. Chalo. And see, for department, there are the time limits when they can go for the appeals. Yeah, let us complete those last 2-3 questions are still pending, no? Yes. An SSC who has served with order of assessment passed under 143.3 routine, read with 147, has filed an application against this order before CIT as per section 264. However, CIT refused to entertain the application on the pretext of premature application. Okay, very beautiful question which I have already discussed in 264. Like your order is passed on 1st January and on 11th of January you want to go for 264. Is it correct? No. Department will say wait 30 days time to wait karo at least. Wait till 31st of January because till then you can go to CIT appeals. If that door is come, then directly come to us 264. We will revise the order prejudicial to SSC. That's what is the answer. CIT shall not revise any order under 264 which is pending before appellate authority or time for filing the authority has not lapsed. Under 246A, time for making appeal against order is 30 days. So, SSC cannot make an application for 30 days. Hence, they will wait till 31st January and then do it. Next, assessment of CNK Associates partnership form was made. AO has made 2 additions in the income. Yeah, again, this is doctrine wala. First part, added 2 lakhs under 40A 1I. For TDS, if the proof and all is not there, if you didn't deduct the TDS, then that expenditure is disallowed. And addition of 5 lakhs on account of unexplained cash credit. That SSC contested addition on account of unexplained cash credit in commissioner appeal. The appeal was decided, okay, and the SSC approaches you for suggestion as to whether it should apply for revision of commissioner under 264 or rectification to the AO under 154 for one part. One part they have already gone, okay, for the commissioner appeals. Remaining, can they go for 264? Answer is no. Total merger. That same law. So they say that if it is mistake for apparent, 154 may just get it rectified and you cannot go for 264 because a part of it you have already gone for commissioner appeals. This one is, I picked up as it is because the way they have asked in the exam, no, again and again they can ask. So 143.1, they have done the assessment, addition of 15 lakhs to the returned income, company preferred commissioner appeals, which is pending. Abhi commissioner appeals is pending. Now, based on information, there was escaping income for same year. Can the AO initiate a reassessment proceeding when the appeal is pending before the commissioner appeal? Answer is yes. The matter which are not considered or decided in appeal or revision may be rectified under 154. 154 ke liye partial merger. So if the department feels part of it, you have gone for commissioner appeals. For remaining, can they do the rectification? Answer is yes. Read it aram se if my speed is more, and ask me if you have a doubt. Can the AO pass an order under 154 for rectification of mistake in respect of issue not under the subject matter of appeal? Answer is yes. Department can appeal one minute. Can the SSC pass an order under 154 for rectification of the mistake in the issue not being the subject matter of appeal? Answer is yes. They can. Okay. Can the SSC company seek revision under 264? Answer is no, because that doctrine of total merger. Can the commissioner make revision under 263 both in respect of matters covered in appeal and other matter? Answer is no. But for 263, partial merger is applicable. Matter which you have gone for commissioner appeals, wait there. Okay, right. CIT can revise items which are not covered in appeal. Go to the commissioner for revision. This is like a gist of what we have studied today. Mark this very important and write down over here, refer 263, 264. First revise 263, 264, where it is partial merger, either ye chalne do, udhar wo chalne do. Where it is total merger, no. Part of it you have gone here, you cannot. SVS did not make a claim of 20 lakhs in the return. This there in your study material only, very nice question. In return of income, they did not claim 20 lakhs, which was disallowed in the previous year. However, the said claim was also not considered by AO during on the ground that no revised return was filed. Okay. Can SSE now make such claim before the appellate authority? Yes. SSE is entitled to raise additional claim before the ITET. Can you put additional claims? Answer is yes. Restriction that additional claim has to be made by filing a revised return applies only in respect of claim made before AO. An SSE cannot make a claim before AO otherwise than by filing a revised return. And you cannot write a letter, sir, wo thoda sa galti ho gaya, accept. No. Anything you want to rectify in your return, even a silly mistake or anything, you need to file revised return. But once you have filed it, the case has gone into ITET, they are asking appellate authority. Then there, can you give the additional claim? Answer is yes. However, this restriction does not apply to additional claim made before ITET. Appellate, both. Please remember, it's asked for ITET, so we are answering ITET, but even CIT appeals will accept additional grounds, additional evidence, all. Thus, additional claims can be raised. And last now, 1 second, yeah. SSE is aggrieved by order and request you to contest the same by filing an appeal before the Commissioner of Income Tax, as well as by filing a revision petition before the Commissioner under 264. Can they do it simultaneously? So many questions are asked for doctrine of partial merger and total merger. This answer is absolutely same. So read the language. Never I print the answers like this. We have worked out the answers in the notebook. But now for this all, I feel that is okay. Did you follow that first page? What are the options for the SSE 154, 264 or the Commissioner appeals? What are the options for the department? Department also 154. They can go, or 263 they can go. And from ITET and all, it is open to both. ITET, High Court, Supreme Court is for SSE as well as for the department. Now, very important is we will file the applications and all for all these appeals and revisions whenever the conditions related to that are satisfied. But you know, the department will do it only when the tax effect crosses this limits. Department will file application. Write down. This can be asked in MCQs. Kuch bhi miss nahi karna hai. Department will file. This is already printed in between the material also. If you read after my class, jahan ITET hai, there I have written, but I want to give it connected also. Department will file application only if tax effect, means tax receivable, will be higher than limit. Write down, I'm dictating. Department will file application only if tax effect will be higher than. In case of ITET, department will go only if the tax effect exceeds 50 lakhs. High Court, department will go if the tax effect exceeds 1 crore. And Supreme Court, the department will go only if the tax effect exceeds 2 crore. These limits, they can ask you in MCQs. These limits, penalties, thode cheezein, I know as a teacher, even I'm not satisfied, but it's like a kind of buttified part, not to enjoy the concept and procedure. We are enjoying that when we are learning, we are linking things practically, but few things are like for getting your degree and getting through exam, to be very frank. So these are the limits. If your tax effect, your tax receivable for the department, they feel ITET ko faida, ITET will, you know, we'll go to the ITET only if the tax effect exceeds 50 lakhs. High Court 1 crore, Supreme Court 2 crore. These limits have been changed. So those who have earlier scanners, you need to do the correction. And these limits are printed in my material in ITET or in that places also. Okay. 50 lakhs, remind me that in case of ITET, if the total income is less than or equal to 50 lakhs, then a single bench member can take the decision. Generally, it is benches of 3, 7, 8, and 9. No? So only single member will take the decision. Can take if that total income is, it's a small case. So they can dispose of. Finish writing. Lot of repetition is there in my question answers, in my way of writing the notes, in my reading part. Lot of repetition. Ignore. Now, whenever you take time limit, if any time is taken, stay order is there. This once, if you know, don't even read it next time. But once we need to print it in the material, no, so that you know the procedure. So now I am not asking you to do this selective reading for other topics, but for this, it is necessary. Thank you so much. It's been really great that all of you are been sitting in the live class for the extended time. Thank you so much. Wishing to give you the best for your exam. Let us bang on the class tomorrow, which is like super scoring. Slum sale, buyback of shares, and deemed dividend. If you can read those 5 aspects of deemed dividend, tomorrow's class will be clear that with deemed dividend, how capital gain is done in case of liquidation. It's all solving the problems. We are taking some problems with thoda theory, with thoda problem. Okay. Thank you so much. And any doubt in any of the questions where you feel I read it very fast, I'm telling you, you read repeatedly the question and answer. You need not give that principle and all, but at least law related to this, then the case answer, and then the conclusion. Thank you so much. That's all for today. Anything from your side you want to say? Please unmute and say no.